Hello everyone and welcome to lesson 5 of Genki 3rd edition. It's going to be a great chapter. It's going to be a fantastic chapter because we are finally going to be covering adjectives. So we are going to be learning that there are two different types of adjectives in Japanese. We have adjectives and adjectives. We're going to learn how to say them both in the affirmative and the negative, the past and the present. And we're going to take a look at how we can modify nouns by using these adjectives, so we can finally say something like a cute cat. We're going to take a look at ski and kirai, meaning to like and to dislike, and then masho and mashoka, meaning let's or shall we, sort of an invitation. And then we're going to take a look at how we can count some things in Japanese. This time we're going to take a look at mai, so we're going to take a look at how to count thin objects such as pieces of paper or something like that. But starting with the adjectives, we have adjectives and adjectives. And these are the two types of nouns. No, not nouns, adjectives in Japanese. And you can see that the adjectives all have in common that they end with I. So atarashi, yasashi, omoshiroi. While adjectives, we will get into it a little bit later why they're called adjectives. And it's basically because how they connect to nouns. But adjectives are nouns such as Genki, meaning energetic, healthy, Genki, like the book, kirei, clean, beautiful, ski, to like. While atarashi means new, yasashi means kind, and omoshiroi means entertaining or interesting. So, this is how the adjectives are conjugated. So atarashi, meaning new, can be atarashi and then des. If we are speaking informal, polite Japanese, so atarashi des. If it's just informal Japanese, you're speaking with friends, you can leave out the des. So atarashikunai would then be the negative. So to form the negative, the last I sound is replaced with ku and nai. Atarashikunai. Or atarashiku arimasen. So nai and arimasen mean the same thing. Atarashikunai, atarashiku arimasen mean the same thing. But atarashiku arimasen is maybe a bit more stiff, a bit more formal, so you would hear the other one more often. And if you were speaking in polite, formal Japanese, you would then just add des. So atarashikunai des. And then with adjectives, now we're learning that they function basically like nouns. So, genki ja nai desu, genki ja arimasen. It would be the same as saying, I'm not a student, so gakusei ja nai desu, gakusei ja arimasen. So, genki ja nai desu. So that's quite simple and easy to do, I hope. There's one sort of, you can call it an exception if you want, but it has to do with the history of the word. So the word for good, which is I in Japanese, makes it so that the word conjugates a little bit differently because the actual word or the older word is yoi. So yoi and I mean the exact same thing, but yoi is a bit more sort of older and maybe a little bit more formal. So when you conjugate I, it becomes yokunai and yoku arimasen. Well, yokunai or yoku arimasen instead of ikunai. So yokunai. Yoku arimasen. So I becomes yokunai, yoku arimasen. So that's just something we have to remember. So, この本はとても面白い. This book is very interesting, very entertaining. この本はとても面白い. 今日は暇じゃないです. 今日は暇. Hima means free, so free time. 暇じゃないです. Today I'm not free. 先生は優しくないです. So the teacher is not kind, is not nice. 先生は優しくないです. 彼女は綺麗です. She is beautiful. 彼女は綺麗です. Or the girlfriend is beautiful. 彼女は綺麗です. And you can see that 綺麗 actually ends with I, but it's still a na adjective. One way you can tell with this particular word is that if you look at the kanji, everything is contained within the kanji, so there's no room for any grammatical changes. You can't change the I. So kirei is always kirei. Although some Japanese people make the mistake of saying kirekunai. So that's something that we are not going to be doing as people who are learning the language as a second language. So 彼女は綺麗です. She is beautiful. So the past tense is like this. So we have 新しかった. So new was 新しい, and the last e is changed into かった. 新しかったです. And the past is actually contained in this かった instead of des or desta. So 新しかった. We learned desta in the last lesson. So 新しかったです. If it's just in formal Japanese, we can just say 新しかった. So it was new. But if we are speaking in formal, polite Japanese, it becomes 新しかったです. And then it's sort of the same thing as before. 新しくない was not new, 新しくない. But to form the past, the last e, just like in the past affirmative, becomes かった. So ない basically functions as an e adjective. So 新しくなかったです. 新しくなかったです. Or 新しくありませんでした. So if we are using ありません instead of ない, we can do 新しくありませんでした. And then the でした is signifying the past, while かった is doing it here. So 新しくなかったでした would be wrong. So 新しくなかったです. And then な adjectives function just like nouns. So ハンサムでした. He was handsome. ハンサムでした. ハンサムじゃなかったです. And here remember that かった is the past, while des is just to stay formal. Or we could say ハンサムじゃありませんでした. And then the past is symbolized in でした. When it comes to good, like we said before, it's a bit different. So yoi and e are the same. So this last e sound becomes かった in the past. よかった.よかった. よかった. I'm glad. And in the negative, よくない becomes よくなかった. よくなかった. So よくない not good, and よくなかった means wasn't good. Some example sentences. 映画は面白かったです. So the film was entertaining, it was interesting. 映画は面白かったです. 昨日はあんまり元気じゃなかったです. Yesterday, I wasn't very energetic or feeling very good. 昨日はあんまり元気じゃなかったです. テストは難しくなかった. テストは難しくなかった. The test wasn't, so 難しい means difficult. 難しくなかった. It wasn't difficult. And if we want to be formal, we would just add です. 納豆が好きじゃなかった. So I didn't like 納豆. 納豆が好きじゃなかった. 納豆, these are the fermented beans. 好きじゃなかった. And we're going to take a look at 好き in just a minute. But before we move on to 好き, to like, we are going to take a look at how we can modify nouns by actually using these adjectives. So, when it comes to e adjectives, it's quite simple. We simply place the e adjective directly in front of the noun. For example, with 面白い映画, an interesting, entertaining film. 面白い映画. While na adjectives place na between themselves and the noun. So, 綺麗な写真, a beautiful picture. 綺麗な写真. Right? So, 怖いゲーム means terrifying game, a scary game. While 暇な時間 means free time. 暇 means free and 時間 means time. 暇な時間。楽しくない旅行。ちょっと待って。楽しくない旅行。which means a trip that wasn't fun. So we can also use the negative to do the same thing. And like I mentioned before, this ない sort of functions in the same way as an adjective. So, にぎやかじゃない街 would be a town that isn't にぎやか。にぎやか。にぎやかじゃなくて、にぎやか。にぎやかじゃない街. So, a town that isn't lively. So, 怖いゲームをやりました. I played a scary game. And be careful here because we're learning the word asobu to play, but we don't, that's sort of to play together or to play around. But if we do a game. So, 怖いゲームをやりました. やる meaning to do, just like する. 怖いゲームをやりました. 暇な時間に日本語を勉強します. So, 暇な時間, the free time, in that, 暇な時間に日本語を勉強します. I study Japanese in my free time. 綺麗な学校でした. It used to be a beautiful or clean school. 綺麗な学校でした. にかやかまだ。にぎやかじゃない町に行きました. I went to a town that wasn't lively. And now we can say finally, かわい猫を蹴りました. かわい猫を蹴りました. I kicked, no, ちょっと待って. かわい猫を蹴ります. I kick cute cat or I'm going to kick a cute cat. But of course we shouldn't do that. So we can say instead, 優しい人はかわい猫を蹴りません. So good people, kind people, don't kick cute cats. 優しい人はかわい猫を蹴りません. They only kick uncute cats. No. So moving on to like and dislike. 好き and 嫌い are actually adjectives rather than verbs. So we would say maybe I like you or I don't like you, while in Japanese these would be treated as adjectives. So the formula could be X は Y が好きです. So if it's like, while X は Y が嫌いです if it's dislike, meaning X likes or dislikes Y. For example, in 私はこのゲームが好きです. I like this game. 私はこのゲームが好きです. Or 田中さんは納豆が嫌いです. 田中さん dislikes 納豆. 田中さんは納豆が嫌いです. Or if we want to put 好き or 嫌い in front of the noun, we can say 私の好きなゲーム the game I like. 私の好きなゲームはファイナルファンタジーです. The game I like is Final Fantasy. 嫌いな食べ物は納豆です. So a food I don't like is 納豆. 嫌いな食べ物. You could ask something like, 好きな人がいますか? Is there a person that you like? And like, in this sense, would probably be the romantic kind of like. If you like someone in Japanese, you could say, 好きです. Or 友達はコーヒーが大好きです. My friend or friend likes or loves coffee, but not in the romantic way. So 友達はコーヒーが大好きです. My friend really likes coffee. あの映画が大嫌いです. I hate that film. With a passion. 好きでも嫌いでもないです. And you can also say something like this. I don't like it or dislike it particularly. 好きでも嫌いでもないです. If you don't have a strong preference. So moving on to let's or shall we, ましょう and ましょうか. So in order to say let's do something, we already know ませんか? Should we do this or won't we do this? But this is a little bit stronger. So 一緒に So together, 一緒にハンバーガーを食べましょう. Let's go eat hamburgers together. Like the best of friends. Or we can add か, so which is a little bit softer. 土曜日に日本語を勉強しましょうか? Shall we study Japanese on Saturday? 土曜日に日本語を勉強しましょうか? So we could say something like 泳ぎましょう. Let's go swim. 飲みましょう Let's go drink. 歌いましょう Let's sing. Let's go sing. しましょうか or shall we do this? そう。海でみんなと泳ぎましょう Let's go swim with everyone in the sea. umi de minna to. Minna means everyone. So, and umi means ocean. Umi de minna to, and to in this case is to ishoni, so together with. Umi de minna to oyokimashou. Let's swim with everyone in the sea. Konya, so tonight. Izakaya de. Izakaya is like a Japanese style bar. Konya izakaya de nomimashou. Let's drink at an izakaya tonight. 授業の後で歌いましょう. So after class, 授業の後で, so after, 歌いましょう. Let's sing after class. Maybe we're going to karaoke. 一緒にゲームをしましょうか? Shall we play a game together? Or we could say 一緒にゲームをやりましょうか? しましょうか? Moving on to counting. So in Japanese, there are many different counters for a lot of different things. And even Japanese people sometimes get confused by them or don't use them religiously. Although there are maybe the most common counters that are always used. And mai maybe is among them. So mai is a counter for things that are flat. For example, pieces of paper or something like that. And it's sort of quite simple in a way. So it's just ichimai, if we know how to count, ichimai, nimai, sanmai, etc. And we can use it like this. So T-shirts o nimai kaimashita. So I bought 2 T-shirts. And you can see that the number often comes after the noun they're addressing. So, chiket o ichimai kudasai, please give me 1 ticket or ticket. But then if we don't maybe know the counter or maybe if there isn't a counter that is strongly associated with a particular thing, we can just say hamburger o futatsu kudasai. So that's the most sort of generic counter. Hitotsu, futatsu, mitsu, etc. So hamburger o futatsu kudasai. Give me 2 hamburgers. And that's it for lesson, was it 5? Yes, it's lesson number 5. But now it's time for question time. So, Nihon no doko ga suki desu ka? So what part of Japan do you like? You can take this literally as in a place in Japan, but it's also just a part of Japan that you like. What do you like about Japan? Nihon no doko ga suki desu ka? I'm looking forward to seeing at least one answer of this kind in the comments down below. But until next time, don't forget to subscribe and like this video before moving on to lesson 6, which I will be doing right now myself, so I can finally shave. Well, I can shave after lesson 12, but oh my god. またね